folks, this is JJ Quest for the JJ Quest Show. I got a story for you, and it's kind of a serious story. Has to do with drunk driving. And first I'm going to tell you, when I was a bouncer at a local bar here in town about, let's say 18 years ago, I had a friend who was a bartender, and basically he used to get drunk a lot, especially right before closing. And come a time where you have to decide where your friendship lays. So basically what happened was, it was closing time, everyone had left, and the staff was cleaning up and putting everything away, and he decided to try to drive home. Well, even though I was a bouncer at the time, I still believe that I have an obligation to the safety of my fellow people, meaning, you know, my friends and family and people I don't even know. So basically, I tried to prevent him from driving drunk. And first I verbally told him, I said, look, you're not getting in that truck because, you know, I don't want you to get killed or kill somebody else. Okay? I could care less how much money you were going to, and this is fake, so don't worry about it. I'm not that rich. Anyways, he would look at a lot of fines and tickets and probably jail time. So I first told him, and then I said, look, if you don't, if you don't listen to me, I'm going to have to physically stop you. Now, I wasn't on duty. I mean, I was ready to go home. And so he refused. He threw a swing at me, and you can notice I still have my teeth, so he missed. But this was the fact. I did everything in my power to stop him from doing that because he was my friend. And beyond that, I cared for other people. Okay? I am totally 100% against drunk driving. Okay? There are cabs, friends, and churches who are willing to pick you up if need be. Anyways, he threw a swing. I took a couple hits, but I eventually used the minimum amount of force required to quell the situation, meaning I brought that boy to the ground. And I didn't call the cops. I didn't do anything like that. And eventually he got a ride home and, whatever. So the next day as I came in for my, hour to work, I was told that I had a meeting with management. Okay, so basically the management told me that I was not to do that again. I said, okay, well, let me ask you a question. What would have happened if he had gotten in that truck and killed somebody on the way home? Would you feel any better about that? That's not our responsibility, they stated. And I said, well, you know what? I think it is. And I think it is anybody who is serving the public is required to ensure the safety of other people. That includes people that have been affected by your business. That's all I got to say about that. But anyways, they said, if I do it again, I will be fired. And I said, well, I'm sorry, but I am going to have to quit, or you're going to have to fire me. It doesn't matter. I'll stop. Even if I'm walking out of the store and I see some guy walking and he's stumbling around and he's trying to get into his car, the last thing I'm going to do is let this guy in there. So that's me as a private citizen. I am going to do what needs to be done to protect my friends, family, and private citizens. So, and it doesn't matter how much money they offer you to stay on the job, it's not worth it. Which leads into my story. Okay. 12 years old. Whoa. 12 years old. Me and my cousin were living in Santa Rosa, California, up north, about 50 miles north of San Francisco. Back then, and back in 76, 75, it was a small, it was a halfway decent town. It was quiet, a lot of country. People wanted to get away from the big city. Most of the people who worked in San Francisco, they lived in Santa Rosa, okay? Because it was nice and open. It wasn't crowded. It didn't have a bunch of city crap. Anyways, summertime, me and my cousin were outside. There's no school. We're just fiddling around. And where we lived in a house here. Next door was another house. Then you had a road, okay? And then on the other side of that road, you had a bar. And in front of our house was Sebastopol Road. It was an awesome road. It still is. But the house is gone, and I think there's a Goodwill there now. But in my yard, there was a big giant walnut tree. We had a pine tree. We had trees all over the place, but then we had this field over here with a cow, and that's another story. That's a funny one too. Anyways, 2 o'clock in the morning, we're fiddling around outside trying to figure out how to get caught being in trouble as 12-year-old country boys out there. And we kept on noticing this, we noticed this guy. I mean, he parked in the same spot at the bar, and you could see the bar clearly if you climbed the walnut tree. There was a big opening in the branches, and you could look right through down at the bar. This guy parked his beautiful Cadillac every night. I mean, the guy, I don't know what the guy was. He didn't work there, I know that, because he'd walk out every night drunk. So it was a habit with this guy, right? So anyways, we're thinking, I go, I thought to myself, even back then, you're 12 years old, the last thing you want to see is some guy hit somebody or crash into something and kill himself. So we thought, well, how would you prevent this from happening? Well, country boys, we thought of a little plan, and that plan was to prevent him from driving home that night. So, my dad's asleep. It's 2 o'clock, 2:30 in the morning. They're getting ready. They're all walking out, all the drunks or whatever they are. And that one particular guy, right? So we thought ahead. Okay, so you get a loaf of bread. We took a loaf of bread, we took the bread out, and we had the plastic bag. And since we had the cow next door, there was all kinds of cow manure in it, in the field. So we took the cow manure, we took some dog crap from my dog Sonia from previous stories I told you, and we peed in that bag. We filled that thing almost 3/4 way, and we smushed it up. I mean, it stunk, it was nasty, it was, all of it. 12 years old. Now, I wouldn't do that now, Anyways, we mashed it up. Made it to a nasty syrup. I almost cussed. You almost got me. Anyways, made it into a nasty syrup. And then right before this guy walked out, now it was summertime, now he always kept his window rolled down, this beautiful Cadillac. I don't know what year it was just long and beautiful, had a beautiful interior. Anyways, I got short stick, which meant I was the one that was going to go over there, while my cousin sat in the tree and looked down to see what was going on. He would yell at me if he saw the guy coming out. So I'm sneaking over there. The windows rolled down. I got my bag of, and I start pouring that into the window, into the seat, on the back, all over the steering wheel, on the door handle. I mean, I just covered that driver's seat, the steering wheel, the shifter, everything I did. I covered that sucker. Okay? I split. I ran back. Ran to the house, got up the tree, sat there in the tree looking through that little opening in the tree to watch it, and suddenly he starts coming out. Now he was like the second to the last guy coming out. So there was a couple guys in the parking lot, talking or whatever. But as usual, as on schedule, he comes out and he's staggering. I mean, this guy, he's falling all over the place. He's trying to reach in his pocket. He's fiddling with his keys, trying to, he was drunk. And I just don't understand how could someone be that drunk and get into something like, no, I know his brain wasn't there, or if it was, he thought he could do it. But every night since I remember when I was a kid, I'd see that car over there. So anyways, he's stumbling out. He's bumping against the wall of the bar, and he goes stumbling around. And he was kind of parked in a situation where the light barely from the building would shine on his car. So the only illumination or indication that he had actually entered the car is when he opened the door, and the dome light went on. So we're just sitting there just holding back our laughter. Anyways, the light goes on, the door shuts, and it was kind of like 10 seconds of total silence, and we were just looking at each other going, well, what's going on? My cousin asked me, did you actually do it? I go, yeah, I put it all over the seat, pulled out the steering wheel. I mean, it was everywhere. Right? Just when we looked back, you could hear the silence broken by this guy screaming at the top of his lungs, son of a blankety blank blank blank. And we were laughing so hard. So hard. He come out of that car and he was just, his back was covered, his hands were covered, and he stunk. And that was the happiest day right there to actually stop somebody from drinking and driving. That was pretty cool. I liked that. He didn't drive home that night. And from what I understand, he didn't get that drunk again. Now, I couldn't tell you anything else, but to tell you about my friend, to go back to the beginning of the story, I eventually quit because they just didn't follow what I believed, all right, of protection of friends and family and people, right? They were more concerned about this, fake money, and that's all it is. It's fake money. It ain't worth nothing. Anyways, 10 years later, in 2010 or something like that, I'm in a store and I'm shopping, and I see this guy, and the guy looks so familiar, and I'm going, who is that guy? That guy looks familiar. And sure enough, he come up to me in the line, and he said his name, and I go, hey, how you doing, man? I didn't bring up what I did to him. I threw him down on the ground, and I put a little knee in his back. But he thanked me for that because he stopped drinking. His life turned out to be a little bit better than what it would have been if he had drove home that night or any other night after that. He thanked me that there was someone out there enough that cared to stop him from ruining his life for somebody else. And my question is how far are you willing to go for any friend or any person that we live in this country? How far are you willing to go to protect them and other citizens from their own destruction or destroying somebody else? That's my question. Now, I've lost lots of jobs because of it, because I believed that my loyalty to this country and friends and family is not worth this. Okay? It can't be bought. It can't be bribed. It can't be, and I've lost lots of jobs because of it. And I have no problem because, I'm a multi-purpose kind of guy. I will do what needs to be done, meaning work. And I will swallow my pride. As long as my personal belief is not affected, my morals is not affected, and my care for other people is not affected. I have no problem with that. I will wash dishes, I will do construction, I'll go back to plumbing, whatever. But my belief is that there's no amount of money on the planet that is worth someone else's life. So, anyways, that's about it. That's my story for today. And I hope you have a great day or night, whatever time you watch this. And remember to subscribe. And if you have any questions, write me at the jjquestshow@yahoo.com. See, look at that. I did it perfect that time. Watch. After I, get up to stop this, I'll fall over everything and break all my lights. Anyways, remember, family, friends, community. What else can you ask for? Come on. It's you live one life, and then then judgment. So, have a great day or night. Take it easy. Love each other. Spend time with your family. Yeah, they're irritating at times, I know. I'll see you later. Catch you soon.